Welcome, everybody, to the Jim Masters Show, Entertainment Lifestyle Celebrity Talk Show series. Jim Masters here, and now we're taking you across the big pond over to beautiful Tuscany, to Italy. Our very special guest is renowned singer and songwriter, international pop star, the one and only Matteo Bocelli, joining us here on the program. Now, we caught him in between touring and recording and flying and sleeping and all the things he's doing because he's embarking on an incredible tour, and he's got new music out and a phenomenal album. And it's a real honor and a privilege and a pleasure to have him here on the Jim Masters Show. Matteo, welcome to our show. And how are you doing, my friend?
Thank you so much, Jim, and thank you for having me. It's here. It's very good. I just came back from US. I did a little, promo both in New York City and Los Angeles. But most of all, I've done two showcases in each cities, and it's been incredible because it's always great to bring the new music, for the first time to your fans. And yeah, so now that was just the warm up. Now I have in front of me, ahead of me, a European tour, and then the US tour starting at the end of November, and many more to announce in 2026.
So incredibly exciting. Could you imagine all of this fanfare and all the response, and everybody can't get enough of your music? They sell out your concert tours. They anytime you're doing something, they want to be a part of it. That must make you feel really good, huh, Matteo?
Yeah, it makes you feel good because it means that your work, and most of all your passion, your love for music is appreciated. And so this that obviously makes me very happy. Behind new music there's so much work. In this house, actually, we've been recording the new album, and the goal was to gather the producer and all the musicians that worked on the record all together, exactly at this table where I'm talking from now. And because behind music, music is made of emotions, and whenever you work on your record, you want everyone to be sharing ideas, opinions, and feelings, what's going on in everyone's life. Because if there's not this connection, I feel like the work is gonna be as good as.
That's one of the things that you say and you stress is the love of the art, the love of the music. And with your new music, Falling in Love, that's what it's all about. You are sharing romance and love, the ups and downs, the vulnerability, the joy of it all. And that's something very, very special. What inspired you to put this particular album together and share it with all of us at this time, and to be centered on love? I mean, the world can never have enough love. I think we need even more of it now than ever. And you're sharing that story so beautifully in song. What was the inspiration for the music, Matteo?
Yeah, I mean, as you mentioned, love. I feel like it's the engine of this world. No, I mean, we must live because of love. Otherwise, I feel like it's not worth living. No, and love is the thing that we all need the most. No, we need it from our family, from our close friends, and music. Love has different faces. No, in the sense that obviously it does exist love, um, told through a beautiful and happy relationship, but unfortunately sometimes love ends, or there's simply some challenges. And in this record I wanted to kind of like describe different phases, no, of our existence and of our relationships. And so this is why I decided to call to give to the album the title Falling in Love. That is the title of one of the songs. um, and what is about falling in love. It's not about just happy moments, it's about up and downs. And I did it my own way.
What is it to you? Yeah, falling in love. What does it mean to you? Because I know one of the things that you say is that one of the great things about what you do and how you do it, Matteo, is that you share so much of yourself versus mimicking other people that are out there that are successful. You have your own sound, your own way, and your own life story, and you share that through your song writing and your singing. What, what is falling in love or being in love to Matteo? Good question.
Well, I mean, falling in love is, it's something that we should all kind of like do every day, in the sense that I feel like it is important to fall in love for everything that surrounds us, no, like anytime I don't know, we're on a car trip, and we go through, these beautiful roads, surrounded by incredible, an incredible countryside, and you see this beautiful landscape. To me, that's also a way of falling in love, falling in love with my land, with my culture, in general, with the country I live in, and also, love. There's obviously the love for, for a person, that again has different phases, no. And the first one is where you again where you fall in love, and it's probably the lightest one, no. It's the most powerful, but at the same time, it's also the one that has the less, how do you say, found base, in the sense that it is strong, it's powerful, but it's about getting to know each other, no. And then the love goes into something more serious, and it transforms. It goes from something that it's, less, again, instinctive, and it's based more on actual facts, no. And it's the
Mhm.
reason why then you decide to spend time with that specific person. It's because actually it's not just about a passing moment, a feeling, but it's about something that you truly see into someone's heart and soul.
What was it like putting this beautiful, and I mean beautiful album together? We encourage folks to get it. We'll tell you in a minute how you can. But how long did you work on the process of the first inspiration, first gel of those moments of the album, and then knowing when it was finished, knowing when you were satisfied to say, okay, I'm good with it. Now we can release it to planet Earth. What was that process like for you from start to finish?
Well, I feel like, I mean, for, I guess maybe for every artist is different, but probably it is pretty common, no? This feeling where you always feel like the piece of art is incomplete, because you would keep, you would constantly like work on the things that you're creating, no? And because you always feel like your piece of art is never 100% done, complete, no. And so if it was for me, probably I would still be like working on the music I just released. But obviously then you have the pressure of the labels, and you ended up, making a record in shorter, in a shorter time. Let's say that the truth is a little bit in between. From one side, it's not good to spend too much time into something, because sometimes you lose that first feeling, that first emotion that you get sometimes also in demos. Whenever you make a demo, that it's often said, no, that in a demo there's something special that then you cannot capture again. So from one side, obviously you cannot spend years in making a record. From the other side, sometimes you have labels pushing a little bit too much, and so the truth obviously always stays in between, no. But I'm honestly very proud and satisfied of the album, of the work. The process, obviously it's a never ending process, in the sense that since my first album, you never stop writing, you keep, it's something that you constantly do. And but definitely most of the songs are songs that I've been writing in the last couple of years. And again, I'm very, very happy.
It's amazing because people have described you in such an incredible way, a next generation artist with the heart of a poet and the reach of a global star. Um, how does that feel when you hear that?
No, I mean, from one side, obviously, I'm happy about these words. From the other side, I always try to talk with facts. And so I just really hope that obviously my music is appreciated. I feel on, if there's a reason why I feel a privileged guy, it's because I have the chance to travel the world and bring my music everywhere, almost. In the sense that, I mean, I've been able to tour in US. I'm going back again to South America. I'm going back to Australia. I more or less I visited the whole Europe, and so I mean this is the reason why I honestly feel very lucky, because it's an incredible privilege to be able to bring your music to the world.
And you love to interact with the fans too when they respond in such a loving and incredible way. And the power of the music too, that transcends time and distance, is absolutely extraordinary. I want to let folks know too, which I'm sure they already know, but if they didn't, Matteo comes from, a wonderful family of music, and his dad, of course, is internationally acclaimed, beloved, and world-renowned tenor Andrea Bocelli. I've had the pleasure of working on several specials, including Love in Portofino and other PBS specials with the incredible music of Andrea Bocelli, and that has been a great honor. And the apple does not fall far from the tree in this case. Matteo has his own sound and his own personality, but of course, having the guidance of a loving father and the wonderful, talented father that Andrea Bocelli is, of course. Uh, what is that like? When did you realize for you um, who your dad was professionally and how beloved your dad Andrea was when you were a kid? When did you realize, gee, my dad isn't just my dad, but the world seems to love him everywhere we go?
Yeah, there's this story told by my father, no, that when we were little, me and my brother used to be a little bit upset because obviously, as kids, you want the attention of your parents. And when we were walking, on the street, people often, was asking for, for a picture. And so we were a little bit upset, and we were asking him, why everyone is asking you for a picture. And then he was like, well, ask yourself, like, probably because your father is often on TV. And so it's been, I feel like it's been a constant natural acknowledge how do you say acknowledgement. I mean, when you slowly kind of like understand, no, that there is a singer known all over the world, but there's not like a specific moment where suddenly you realize everything.
Exactly. It comes over time. But yeah, exactly. When people were asking for autographs and pictures and everything else, you're like, I don't understand what this is all about. Explain it. And but when you do find out, it is glorious. And you have embarked on your own career. How much guidance, career wise, and in terms of your sound and some of the great advice maybe that has come from your father, who has been there, who's been in the trenches. He knows what the music industry is like, touring's like, and just being out there in the public eye as much as he is. How much have you garnered from him in terms of any inspiration or advice he's given you over the years?
Well, obviously, I cannot describe one single, suggestion, but definitely through the years, he's been very helpful, as you said, in understanding how to approach, a career. It goes from, approaching a TV rather than a stage. How do you approach, a performance, and things, a lot of things. He's been like, teaching me. But also from the example, no, itself. I've been kind of like following and trying to understand everything he does before a performance, when he studies at home, and these are all things that are very, very helpful.
Which is fantastic. And back in, was it 2018, you gained international recognition after recording the duet Fall on Me with Your Father for his album. And the song was actually featured in the Disney film, The Nutcracker and the Four Realms. Tell us about working on that, Fall on Me with Your Father.
Yeah, in 2018, my father was working on an album called C, that in Italian means yes. And this record was, after probably like 14 years, a record made of original songs. Because in back, for the last like 14 years back then, he had only cover albums, kind of. So obviously, we were all very excited. He started to receive lots of songs, mainly from his songwriters, and then this one song that, you know step up a little bit from all the other songs, because it was definitely like more pop for his standards. But we all felt that the song had something. So just for fun, because already in those days I was, recording things, anything that, and any song, covers or original song that I loved, I was going to the studio and recorded. So I did a recording of Fall on Me, and the first two people that listened to the demo were the president of the label and the producer, that at the time was Bob Ezrin. And he goes, not only I love this song and I think that it should make the record, but I also love this voice. But who's this guy? I mean, this is not Andrea. And yes, it was me. And that's where, then the label thought, well, actually it could really work, a duet, father and son. And that's where Fall on Me became a duet. And obviously it's been the turning point for me, because since then I signed to the label, and to a management team. And I basically passed from singing at home on my own to going with my father on stage at the Madison Square Garden, Hollywood Bowl, the most important TV show. So it's definitely been a huge step for me. But obviously, next to my father, it was, more affordable. Like, I had someone guiding me.
Absolutely right. And you had early on, I think there was an opportunity to work with David Foster, right?
Yes, I was 16 years old, and David said, I mean, what if your son makes a record with me? I would love to produce him. And my father wasn't very happy about this thing. I really hope that he wasn't, happy simply because he was trying to protect me and not because he was jealous. But no, definitely was trying to protect me from the music industry, that he knows how challenging it is. And so he said, no, this is not time, you're not ready. So I saw this dream flying away. But um, since then, David would have brought me to few of his events and shows, and he told me, Matteo, choose one song. At the beginning, sometimes one song is enough. So we chose Caruso from Lucio Dalla. And since then, from being the only song that I was performing on stage, today it became the song that I always perform at the end of my shows. It became kind of like, a classic. My fans knows it. And I've been asked from my fans to record my version, because my version wasn't out there yet. So this is also the big news of this second record, is that as I always performed Caruso as last song at the shows, I decided to record my version and put it as last in the track list of the album. So finally, everyone's gonna have my Caruso version.
That is incredible. It really is, my friend. And it's life has a funny way of going. You had an opportunity to talk about this opportunity early on with David Foster, who's terrific. I got a chance to work on one or two of the PBS specials, doing some in studio segments for some of the amazing things that he has done. He's an incredible individual with a great witty sense of humor too, David Foster. But what goes around comes around, because later on you got a chance to perform at the Hollywood Bowl for his 75th anniversary, right? His celebration, birthday, all of it.
The 70 celebration of David Foster that we did at Hollywood Bowl.
Yeah.
Definitely a beautiful memory, beautiful, yeah, I would say situation. I mean, I was there obviously, yes, with my father, but David was there, Michael Bublé, Charlie Puth, and many others, talented artists. So I felt, so little during that night, but at the same time, I had lots of fun. I also performed Quando Quando Quando, that is a classic, written by a dear friend, Tony Renis, and that's also a song that I really love, and now it's close to me, in the sense that I performed that song at Festival de Viña del Mar in Chile, and since then I had actually a huge return, let's say, from the audience, because I kind of like got also almost a million follower only from that performance on Instagram. So it opened many opportunities for my career in South America. I've done a whole tour there. I did actually my first arena in Santiago de Chile, and yes,
That must have been amazing, huh?
it's a beautiful piece of music that I always enjoy a lot.
And what is it like performing in front of that audience? Because they're very responsive and lively, and they really support. And to be in Chile and in a sold out venue like that, that must have been extraordinary as you open up to, like you say, the South American audience too.
Yeah, to be honest, I mean, USA, it's obviously in my heart. It's a second home. I mean, I have so many incredible memories, with my family too there. I'm starting to build in my mind, my personal ones, in the sense, through my music. I've already like made many performances there, and the US audience, it's always incredible. But I must say that also in Santiago de Chile are very uh, good crazy. They're very loud, they're very warm, welcoming, and yeah, it's I honestly can't wait to be back there as well.
Now, 2021, of course, debut album Solo, very well received as well. How is the new music that you're sharing with all of us with Falling in Love? How does it differ? Your voice has grown exponentially. You've really uh, blossomed in such a spectacular way, my friend.
Well, the voice, let's say that probably, touring for almost 3 years helps a lot. You can sing as much as you want at home, but it's a different training, the one on stage, for the voice, in my opinion. And for this reason, yeah, definitely, even vocally there's a difference. But the big difference, I feel like it's truly like in the writing. I feel I've been developing a lot my skills, let's say, in writing. I found out a big truth, from Ed Sheeran as well. I saw one of his interviews where he was saying actually that it is true that, let's call them hits, or let's say songs that become, successful. They come now and then. They obviously are rare to get, but it is very important at the same time to develop your writing skills. So it is important to write every day, even if you don't write a hit every day, but still it's important to keep, that practice, because then when the day that you're like truly inspired and you have something special to get out from your soul, then I feel like it comes easier. And I feel and I felt, he was right. And but also is a there's been, I feel like a big evolution also in the production, because obviously my first album, Matteo, we were coming from COVID, and it wasn't very easy to work with a producer and with the musicians in the same room. And I feel like you can kind of like feel that this type of distance. And again, with this new album, it was, a totally different experience. We were always together, we spent weeks together. I wanted the record to feel organic, so the main, the main structure of every song comes from a jam session of the song with guitar, drums, bass, and keyboard synths. And I feel like it's basically different for this, because there's more connection, there's more chemistry between me and everybody else that worked on the record.
You mentioned the incredible Ed Sheeran, who's a terrific songwriter and singer, and people love him too.
Let's say that I had the pleasure to see him many times. He's an incredible human being. I respect him probably like, obviously, yes, we all know how talented he is, but also I really enjoyed his company. It let you feel like it's true, this is true. Like, it let you feel like, you've been knowing each other since a long time. Because again, he's very humble, he's simple, he's, I would say, like one of us, no? And yes, I definitely bring with me a beautiful evening. The after my father's show here in Laiatico, our hometown, we actually came to this place where I'm now, and we cooked pasta. We had the chance to chat a lot, and that was very fascinating, no? Because you get to know an artist that conquered the world, and you have so many things to know from him, to learn from him.
Who are some other folks that inspire you too? I know you like Elton John and Lionel Richie and some of the legends in the industry too, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like whenever you grow up in music, you want to learn from the best. And my opinion, whenever it's about singer songwriter, to me, the ones that wrote the most beautiful, like songs, also as number, like number of successful songs, is definitely Lionel Richie, Elton John, Beatles. I'm a big Queen lover, because obviously there's something to learn from everyone, but there's definitely someone that has a very dense, talent.
It's a good way to put it too. Exactly. They're all incredibly skilled and beloved as well. Back in 2024, you joined your father in a special performance of Time to Say Goodbye at the 96th Academy Awards, the Oscars, arranged by Hans Zimmer, the brilliant Hans Zimmer, during the ceremony's in memoriam segment. And we all remember here in America and in Canada seeing that. What was that like to be a part of that?
Well, it was definitely an honor, because I know that stage is very prestigious, and it was definitely something to remember, because you're performing in front of incredible talents that with which you grew up, because there were so many actors that I followed, in many movies since I was little. So it was definitely like a memorable moment for me. Also, I was performing the song that made my father successful all over the world, so definitely I also had that pressure on. But luckily, I mean, everything went well and all good.
It's all good for sure. Well, it didn't stop there because you also, with your father, had the great honor of singing with or for the Pope. That is a beautiful, beautiful experience. What was that like? Did you get no sleep the night before, knowing that was going to happen?
No, 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 not that, but I definitely have also beautiful memory of Papa Francesco, the previous one, and actually we performed "Follow Me," and same happened now with last Papa Leone X, and and yes, I mean, we can say many things. Everyone obviously believes in whatever they want to believe. The only thing that I really like feel, like to say, is that it's been a serene day, and we always talk about happiness, and I actually like have a song in the record called Glimpse of Happiness, because to me happiness is something that comes and go whenever it wants. It's not something that obviously you can plan, but there's definitely, in my opinion, a way to live a life that it's serene, and it can be kind of like constantly serene. And it's a research that we all have to make on our own. And that day, it left me serene, like constantly the whole day. So it was a very there was like a very positive energy around the day, and it got me.
I would imagine too, your father is very proud to see the response around the world to you and to your music because you've carved your own path. Of course, he's the incredible Andrea Bocelli, beloved, but you're Matteo and you have your own sound. And you've, even with this phenomenal album, Falling in Love, blending some of the classical flavorings with the modern pop influences, with the theme of love, is really spectacular. I would imagine, Dad is quite proud.
Yeah, my father definitely is very proud, and he listened to the project once it's done, because obviously, he's an opera lover. Anything that goes far from that, he doesn't really like get it. Even though I must be honest, even the first single he very much appreciated. It's called "To Get to Love You," and he also said this funny thing. He was like, I mean, the fact that I like it, it's not a good sign, because usually what I like, it's not appreciated, because I'm an old soul. But not just just that song. There's also another song he really likes from the album. It's called "Angel in Disguise," and I mean, overall, he's very proud.
Absolutely. And in addition to, of course, singing and songwriting, matter of fact, what do you prefer most? Sometimes some of the folks I've chatted with over the years, some say that they're a songwriter who sings, some say they're a singer who's a songwriter. Do you have a preference, a pure love of one over the other, or you just love all of it, singing and songwriting, Matteo?
No, obviously, I come from more the interpreter, side, and so definitely I do enjoy a lot singing. Uh, but the writing part is something that I developed in the last 5 6 years, and so let's see, because obviously I love to do both things at the same way, but obviously singing at the moment is probably the thing that, to me, it's easier to do.
How does it feel to you when you take that stage and you look out there and you see, you know, legions of
This is Turkey,
fans
I
and
think.
yeah, it's got to be terrifying.
No, it's not terrifying. I've been welcomed from this audience in an insane way.
Yeah, sure
It's
have.
very loud, and I didn't expect. I mean, I didn't expect in general, because I never performed in Turkey before, and that was one. My medium size venue usually is around 1,000 2,000 people. That crowd was probably like 4,000, so it was double. And in a place where I never been, I was like, wow, this is incredible. It's beautiful.
You have also expanded from being just a singer, songwriter, and a talented musician as well, piano, of course, and guitar and other things along the way. You speak several languages as well, my friend?
I mean, speak is a big word. I don't even know if I speak Italian.
All right.
My father would say you don't even speak correct Italian, but yeah, I do speak Italian, English, kind of, as you can tell, because many times I miss, like words, but and a little bit of Spanish, because I studied Spanish at medium school, and I mean, I've been also singing in Spanish a little bit, and it's a beautiful language too.
You also have done some work with guests.
Yeah, I mean, modeling is not my thing. I do enjoy it now and then, but obviously, I mean, there's nothing comparable to music.
To music and even, you know, put your hand into acting as well.
Oh, also that, even worse. I mean, I'm not an actor, even though when I was there was, an incredible team behind that encouraged me, and they were like, "Don't ever say that you're not an actor. If you're here, it means that you are." And
Hmm.
honestly, it's been beautiful, the process of preparing the part. I enjoyed the experience so much, in a way that if ever I'll get the chance to act somewhere else, obviously I would say yes, because I really loved it. And but from one side, it is true that any one of us can be an actor, no? Like we're all kind of like actors of our life, you know. So what's really like hard, it's simply to break that wall, you know, to break that, um how do you call it, like shyness, shy, I mean, whenever like you feel shy to be in front of a camera or to be in front of someone, it's basically a movie. Somehow it's kind of like uh, a life experience, no? It's you have to kind of like get sometimes the emotions that you truly live in your real life into what you're acting.
Very well said. And you do that not only in with the acting, that you say you would embrace if there were more projects that came your way, of course, but in your music as well, which I think is fantastic. With the tour, happening, what is it like to prepare a tour? I know in many people that I've spoken to, and I've had an opportunity to be master of ceremonies for different folks I've interviewed and go on stage and introduce them on stage. And it is a big process, all just from the technical and production and the rehearsals. And what is it like for you? How do you prepare your tour? And what are some of the things you do to make sure you're ready? Because you're taking on a lot of different cities and countries and you're all over the place, my friend.
I mean, to me, at the base of, preparation for a tour, there's obviously, first of all, the exercise. Obviously, you have to exercise, you have to train, you have to keep your voice, yeah, trained. But at the same time, it's, to me at least, it's very much also about respecting a certain diet. That it doesn't mean anything specific. Simply don't eat, bad things. Don't drink alcohol, and most of all is the sleep, because the sleep, probably I would put it at top level.
Now, I heard you sleep. You're lucky if you do that because a lot of people don't. And I want to know the secret to how you do it. 8 to 9 hours, you're able to sleep 8 to 9. I'm lucky if I get
I
six,
mean,
Matteo.
a little bit, maybe it's DNA. A little bit is that I feel like in the world we live in, we're very much like stimulated. Like there's too many things, too many informations that we get every day. Phones definitely don't help. So we have to have a good sleep. I feel like we have to be, again, serene. It's very important.
Exactly right. Like you said, diet and exercise, getting the sleep, which you need, of course, for the tour and taking on this incredible tour that you have. Um, and there it is on the screen, folks. It's the world tour from Matteo Bocelli, Falling in Love. And it's spectacular. And grab your tickets and I'm going to show you in a second how you can get them. But of course, when you look at all of this and you have this amazing tour and you've got the new music and you've got all of this incredibleness that's happening with the tour itself and the concerts, what can people look forward to? What can people expect if this is their very first taste of Matteo Bocelli and his music and his great personality, and they come to the actual concerts all over the globe here? What can they expect? What do you hope that they feel and that they're left with?
Well, definitely in this next tour, it is going to be very important for me to bring my new music, my new album. So I'll be trying to bring almost all the songs from this new album. At the same time, they're gonna be, those few classics that everybody expects from me. I cannot leave them out. And overall, I mean, what I always wish, to myself and to everyone that comes to my shows, it's to simply have experienced, like a moment of joy. Like, we want, with music, we want to feel light. Sometimes it's even like an escape from the everyday life, that that it's always, rushed, and where we don't really like focus on the things that we should value the most in our lives. And so it's a good, it's a good way to maybe spend some time with, with your family, with your friends, and again, and leave overall like a positive energy.
You realized early on too, I think it's like around 16, 17, that music was much more than just a passion for you, right? You had an opportunity to sort of sink your teeth into it at this early age. And you did that debut live performance at age 18 at Rome's Colosseum. Um, then realizing, okay, this is something that, when did it really click in for you? Was it then at that age that music and performance and entertainment was something that was in your heart and you needed to share it with the world?
I mean, the passion and the need to make music, I always had it since I was little. But that's, I would say, definitely passion is something different to work, and somehow at some point even music, that it starts from being, just a passion, it goes into something that it's, different. It's not just anymore passion, because passion at the end is also something that then you decide whenever you want to do that thing, no, when instead you start planning performances and other stuff, then obviously it becomes also a work somehow. So when I was doing my first public appearances, as you said, around 15, 16, obviously understood that it was that passion was turning into something more, serious. And then obviously the click point, it's been when I did Follow Me with my dad.
Again, the response has been so extraordinary, and so many people so excited about the tour. And there again on the screen is the tour as well. And we've been showing this on the screen as well. There is the website. So make sure you go to the website, and it's .it. Of course, that is for Italy. And you can learn about everything Matteo Bocelli, all the wonderful things he's doing, he has done and continues to do. And of course, the music itself. Really something special, folks. You got to add this to your collection and get his other music too, as well. This is Falling in Love. He's all excited about it. He's very, very excited to share it with you. It's been truly a labor of love for him and everybody involved. And something else too, I know in addition to love, one of the greatest gifts you believe is family. And there you are, beautiful home. You actually recorded the album at home in Tuscany?
Yeah, I do recorded my album,
Yeah,
Falling in Love, in
yeah.
Tuscany. And but yes, obviously families, it is very important, but at some point you also have to go your own way. You have to walk your own path. And to me, definitely it's very important also to have my friends around. That's my way of getting my energies back from any journey.
I mentioned the family too because there was another great, incredible, it's the greatest gift. This was really so well received with you and your dad, Andrea, and Sister Virginia. Um, Beautiful working on this as well, and something that everybody has on at holiday time, Christmas time. Beautiful coming together for projects like that, huh?
Yeah, it is very beautiful. The most beautiful, memory I bring with me of the album is definitely the single "The Greatest Gift." It's been written by two incredible talents, but also friends that are Amy Wadge, known to have written many songs with Ed Sheeran, but also Jonas Marin. I actually worked with them also on a few other songs of mine. One is called "Honesty," and it's probably one of the song that means the most to me. Again, it's a as you can imagine, growing up in a family with such a last name, you're surrounded by many people that obviously are there simply because it's convenient and not really because for who you are. And so I wanted to dedicate that song to the ones that raised me up, truly for the love of being, next to me for who I am. And it's and people, I must be honest, every time I perform that song live, people really gets that message and really gets that feeling and emotion that I put into that music.
Which is so incredible. Congratulations, my friend, on everything that's been happening. It really is a pleasure to get a chance to learn a little bit more about you. We've been following you from day one. And again, like I said, I've had opportunities to work on specials that have involved your father through PBS, great performances and more. And you have carved out your own way, your own path, your own style, and, paying heed and respect, of course, to your dad and his music, but really creating your own voice and sharing it in such an extraordinary way, my friend. And congratulations again on everything. And there
Thank
is
you so
again
much.
information. You are welcome, my friend. There's the information for the tour. And of course, there is the album, and I'll mention it as well continually. This has been something really special, my friend. And I really appreciate the time, your generosity of time. And I hope you'll come back and see us again. And I hope to get a chance to chat with you, maybe backstage, what have you, when we see you
Yeah,
on
of
the road at
course.
your tour.
I'll be in your area, between November and December. The December, actually, I'm playing in Huntington. So I would love to see you there, and to know from you also, to have a feedback from you of the show.
One last question before we head out. Why do you love doing this so much, my friend?
Sorry.
Why do you love doing this so much, the work that you do?
Oh, sorry. What I thought. What do I love the most? Definitely, I always say music is divided in two parts. The most creative one, that's definitely, it's probably like one of the most fascinating to create. It's a need that we feel. Um, it's about externing, emotions that we keep inside, and but at the same time, it's also the other side is the live shows. It's to be connecting with people. It's to bring that music on stage, and that's a whole other experience. And again, I feel like we all live, we're not meant to be on our own. We're not meant to be alone. We're meant to share with others, and for me to make music, and to share emotions and moments with my fans. It's one of the most beautiful and exciting thing to do.
Beautifully said, my friend. Thanks for sharing this time with us. Congratulations on everything once again. Good luck with the tour and the album, and come see us again. A real blessing having you with us on the Jim Masters Show.
Thank you for having me.
You're very welcome. Now go eat some pasta. You must be hungry.
Yeah, I am.
Be well, Matteo.
You
Blessings to
too.
you and to the
Thanks a
family.
lot.
We'll talk soon. Take care now. Ciao.
Ciao, ciao.
Matteo Bocelli here, very busy guy, and we appreciate the time that he shared with us here. So many exciting things that are happening in his world and his life, and he really is an amazing, amazing talent. Here again, the tour. Make sure that you check it out. Falling in Love, the world tour with the one and only Matteo Bocelli. Extraordinary music, extraordinary stories as he shares a bit of himself with everybody around the world. And again, make sure you pick up Falling in Love. That is something that everybody's talking about. And if you haven't gotten it yet, make sure you do. Filled with incredible songs, incredible music, incredible heart and soul. And you will fall in love with love all over again when you hear that material. It's amazing. Again, what's great about Matteo as well, even though he comes from a legendary background with his father, Andrea Bocelli. As I mentioned several times, he has really fostered his own career. He has really set out for what he loves, taking, elements of course, the experience with his loving dad, Andrea, who's very, very proud of him. Andrea Bocelli, of course, internationally renowned tenor, beloved around the world. But their wonderful, loving father-son relationship together is so beautiful as well. But he's taken elements of that and he shares it with all of us in his own style, in his own way. And I want to tell you as well a little bit more about Falling in Love. It really is an emotional journey of love. The album title suggests a narrative arc centered on the experience of falling in love. But Matteo expands on this by exploring all of its shades, all of love's shades. This includes the joy and passion, as well as the uncertainty and vulnerability that accompany love as well. If you're in love right now, folks, or you've been in love for a long time, then you'll know what I'm talking about. It's something really, really special. And you can fall in love with Matteo Bocelli and his music by picking up a copy of Falling in Love. Really amazing. Again, selling out in this particular venue as well. And he's just so great, isn't he? And yeah, if you're a fan of Andrea Bocelli and you have not heard Matteo, awesome. Check him out. You're going to love it. If you are in love with the music of Matteo and everything that he does, this is more for you to enjoy with the tour and with the album and so much more. He's just getting started. I tell you, folks, he has so much that he is working on, so many projects. And, you know, we were talking before we went on the air. He was coming to us from his home in Tuscany, Italy, beautiful Tuscany. You know, so many things he's experienced about America and American culture and Italian culture, and you can learn from both. You know, when you go around the world, if you haven't been to Italy, I've had an opportunity to go a couple of times now, and it's a beautiful country, a beautiful place to be. And Matteo is always warmly welcomed when he's here in the United States. We're here in America, and will continue to be. And how cool was it when he was talking about being embraced by everybody in Chile and his South American performance, which was extraordinary. So many great things that he's doing. And he, you know, he's got his heart in his sleeve. But one of the things that I like about Matteo is he's a straight shooter. You know what I mean? With all of this around him and all the trappings of glitz and glamour, he's a regular guy. And you know, he's very approachable and he's a straight shooter and he's authentic and he's real. You know, even though he could be in a tuxedo on some of the world's finest stages, just like his father, Andrea, he's he's a regular guy. And he keeps that humble nature. Even when we were chatting about some of the other celebrities, like he's always admired Whitney Houston and Frank Sinatra as well. And I mentioned Lionel Richie, Elton John. He does have an old soul, like his dad told him, and he plugs into it with his music and sharing it with all of us. But he's so real. And when we were chatting before we went on the air with the Jim Masters show, I got that real sense. It really is something special, really tremendous. And something special I want to show you as well in terms of his father, for those of you who might be super fans of Andrea Bocelli. I mentioned to Matteo that we were at a very special event that was held for Andrea Bocelli when Andrea Bocelli, his father, was performing at the Mohegan Sun Arena, which is an incredible place in the northeastern United States between New York and Boston. It's in Connecticut. And back in December, Andrea, his dad, was honored by the Mohegan Sun before he went on stage. Andrea lit the Christmas tree, and then he got this wonderful star on the Walk of Fame at Mohegan Sun. And something very, very special. And we were there and we captured that. And we did an episode of the Jim Masters show where we shared that. For those of you who didn't see that, you can see it in the archives. But here's a little snippet of something special. And I can see pretty soon, before you know it, Matteo will be getting his star on the Walk of Fame as well. And my God, he sang at the Academy Awards with his father as well. He sang for the Pope. He also sang with him for a ceremony with President Biden here in the United States, and so much more. Here's a little clip from the event at the Mohegan Sun Arena, and this is in Connecticut, USA, and it's Andrea Bocelli, Matteo's dad, receiving this Walk of Fame star and lighting the famous Christmas tree. Take a look at this. That was quite special, and that was the incomparable Andrea Bocelli. And as I mentioned, I had an opportunity also to work on some specials on public television. Of course, Andrea Bocelli has been on public television for years. One is Love in Portofino, a great performances PBS special, which was absolutely spectacular, and did the in-studio segments for that as well. And it was really something. We really appreciate having Matteo Bocelli here on the Jim Masters Show for this special guest interview, learning more about him and, of course, the respect and honor he has for his dad, but also the incredible career that he has blossoming. And if this is your first knowledge or just having an opportunity to learn more about Matteo, he's a great, great performer. He really is. And he loves what he does. Some great shots we have him doing his thing here. He absolutely loves what he does. There are some of the cities for the tour as well. Zoom in there and you can see some of the cities. He's already been in New York, but he will be in Huntington, Long Island as well. And if you want to learn more, you can go to the website you see there as well. And that is the Falling in Love World Tour with the one and only Matteo Bocelli joining us here on the Jim Masters Show. If you enjoyed this, everybody, so great to have this for you and so great to present this for you. He really is absolutely amazing, and he's a star. And his star continues to shine and continues to rise. His voice is impeccable. His personality is spectacular, and really, you're going to love going to see him. So make sure you get your tickets. Again, there you go. Falling in Love World Tour, Matteo Bocelli. Thanks so much for being with us, everybody. And go to his website to learn more. And again, one more time, can't say it enough. Falling in Love, Matteo Bocelli. There is the new album. Of course, there's other great music too, and other great things that he has done, and just love it all, right? It's cool stuff. There's a wonderful shot of him with his father, Andrea. Good stuff, gang. We hope you enjoyed this episode of the Jim Masters Show. And we say thank you once again to the wonderful Matteo Bocelli for taking this time and spending this time with us here on the show. Support his music, support what he's doing. He loves what he's doing, and he's sharing it for all of us. And again, he's big about love and relationships and having a good time, as he said, having a good time and enjoying life, because life goes by so fast. He came to us from his home in beautiful Tuscany, Italy, right here on the Jim Masters Show. And if this is your first time watching the Jim Masters Show series, come see us again. We love having you here. It's a blessing to have you with us. And if you enjoyed this episode, be sure on our YouTube channel to give it a thumbs up, share this episode on your social media, subscribe to our YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV, and of course, click the notification bell so you never miss any announcements about all our great episodes. You can binge watch all the rest in our archives, and drop a comment below. If you enjoyed this episode with our special guest, Matteo Bocelli, be sure and drop a comment right there below. Interact with us and let us know how much you enjoyed this special episode of the Jim Masters Show, bringing you a real international superstar, the one and only Matteo Bocelli, joining us here on the Jim Masters Show. Good stuff, gang. Loved it. And he's really busy because he's got the tour and he's in between dates. Literally, he was just in New York, then Los Angeles, and his team flew back to Italy. He's there now for a bit, and then the European leg of his tour starts. And boy, it's going to be something. Everybody in Europe excited. Then he'll be back here in the States for more. So cool stuff. All right, I'm Jim Masters. Thanks for being with us, everybody. One more time, thank you very much to Matteo Bocelli joining us for a special guest interview here on the Jim Masters Show. And thanks to all of you for watching and supporting. And reach out to us. Let us know you're there. We love having you here. We love hearing from all of you. We love all the support and all the love you send our way. It's very appreciated. We love you back. So come see us again. Be well, everybody. I'm Jim Masters. Take care of one another. Love one another. And don't forget to do the very same for yourself. Continue to fall in love with life and living and with your own life as well. It's important to do. Be well. Take care. And thanks for joining us on the Jim Masters Show. Cheers.